Bitcoin has pumped yet again as we entered the range low in this new year. In today's quick market update, we'll be going over some short-term price action for Bitcoin, as well as some general expectations into Q1 2025. By the way, Happy New Year. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and let's jump right into the video. First things first, looking at the Bitcoin chart here, we can see that we are now right above $97,000. We pumped from the 91.5K range, which was a strong range for support for Bitcoin. Now, the question is, will we make it back all the way up to this 99.5K range, or will we start dumping from here? My general expectation, as I've been sharing in my videos as of late, is the fact that Bitcoin is likely to go much lower into the mid 80K range before we see a reversal to higher prices, breaking the previous all-time high at $108,000. Now, one of my main reasons for this is the fact that we've been rejected at the 99.5 to 100K level several times. This was a crucial psychological level for Bitcoin, and so the expectation was that it would hold as support, but also hold as resistance, as we can see on this chart. Now that we are below the 100K level, we can see that we've been rejected from this area several times, and it's actually one of the areas that I mentioned to enter a short. Now, if you've been following this channel, we entered a short at 99.5K, and we took our profits at around 91.5K. Now, my second take profit zone was actually marked at around the 87K level, and this most recent short-term pump from Bitcoin is exactly why it's important to have multiple take profit levels, because if you don't, you could just bounce from this level, and there is a chance that we come and revisit our entry. So currently, as I mentioned on my X account, we took around 30% of the profits from this trade at around this take profit level, and I am personally waiting for us to revisit the 87K level before we take the rest of the profits. But to play it safe, now my stop loss is right around the 99.5K level, so if Bitcoin did reverse course from here, at least I would have secured some solid gains. Now, if I had to make a bold prediction, I do think that Bitcoin will continue to reverse from here, which is of course why I still have my trade open. I still think that it is very likely that we enter the mid 80K range at some point within the coming weeks. We can also see that the Bitcoin bull market support band is between 75 and 80K, and this band will likely trend higher, and I expect Bitcoin to also retest it at some point in this bull market before moving higher. Now, the great thing about this bull market support band is that Bitcoin doesn't have to drop all the way here to make this retest, but rather, if Bitcoin stays range bound for the next few weeks, the bull market support band will likely catch up to the price of Bitcoin, and we can bounce from that level before moving higher. Overall, in 2025, I am very bullish on Bitcoin, but I do think that altcoins will finally start to outperform, and here is why. Now, if you're new to crypto, when Bitcoin dominance is red, that means that altcoins are outperforming Bitcoin during that time period. So we can see that in 2017, we had a huge red candle for Bitcoin dominance. Then in 2018, 2019, and 2020, we had green candles. In 2021, we had a huge red candle once again. And then in 2022, 3, and 2024, Bitcoin dominance was in an uptrend. Now we are entering that euphoric last period of the bull market where Bitcoin dominance should come crashing down, which is extremely bullish for our altcoins. I think that 2025 will be the year that most solid altcoins will outperform Bitcoin. Now, of course, in 2024, we did have some outliers, and there were some altcoins that did multiples. But overall, over the span of the last 3 years, you would have been better holding Bitcoin than any other cryptocurrency. But now we are finally entering that exciting period in the market where altcoins can sustainably outperform Bitcoin. And if you have a solid project, it will likely outperform Bitcoin, in my opinion. Of course, there's still a lot of shitcoins in the space, so you need to be careful and you need to make sure that you're holding solid altcoins. In one of my upcoming videos, I'll get into my top altcoin picks for 2025, so make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss out on that one. And here, a more detailed look on Bitcoin dominance. We can see that we rejected at the top of this wedge, and now it's looking like we're starting to come back down. Now, in the short term, Bitcoin dominance still can go up, but if we look at it on a bigger scale, I would bet a lot on the fact that Bitcoin dominance will be a red candle for 2025. And in the meantime, it is looking like Ethereum is starting to bottom out against Bitcoin, although we might still go lower. You can see on this chart, I've dissected it by quantitative tightening and quantitative easing, and we can see that we are still in quantitative tightening. So I think that when the Fed starts printing money, hopefully sometime in 2025, that is when we will see Ethereum outperform Bitcoin sustainably and the rest of the altcoin market to follow. But until then, it's looking like Ethereum on its Bitcoin pair is trying to make that bottom. The lower level that I'm looking at for Ethereum against Bitcoin is the 0.3 level. Now, obviously, this is on a monthly chart to give you a broader overview, but I do think that this will reverse course very soon and Ethereum will show a lot of strength against Bitcoin, signaling a massive altcoin season. Another thing that's extremely positive at the moment is the fact that crypto's performance in Q1 is usually positive. So even during bear markets, which we are not in, it tends to be one of the better quarters for crypto. It's also when the market tends to start its new cycle after a bear market. As a whole, make sure you're paying attention now because I think that Q1 will be very exciting for all of us. Now, if we go back to the Bitcoin chart, it's very difficult to give you exact timelines for when I expect us to hit the 87K level. It's really tricky to time the market and no one can do it perfectly. Anyone that tells you they can is completely and utterly full of themselves. But that being said, my thesis is that Bitcoin will still likely drop just a little bit into the $80,000 range and we will bounce up higher from there. And so if you're looking for a solid trade, I would consider entering a short here with take profits back at the $91,500 range. Of course, this is not financial advice, but if you missed out on the 99.5K short, I wouldn't consider this a bad level to enter a leverage trade position so long as you manage your risk correctly. Now, if we were to break higher into the 100K range, then I would be targeting $104,000 for a Bitcoin long. But so long as we are below the 99.5K level, I think that we will see further downside for Bitcoin. And if you're looking to make some of the trades that I discuss on this channel, I would highly recommend that you sign up to Weeks, which is the first link in my description. You can earn up to $20,000 in bonuses just for trading crypto as you normally would. This is where I make most of my profits, and I have personally made tens of thousands of dollars on this exchange. Very solid exchange, very reliable, and I would highly recommend. And that sums up today's quick video. I know there's a lot of influencers out there that are telling you to just blindly long Bitcoin, but I still think that we should exercise a little bit of caution. As I said, should we breach the 100K level, I will be looking for longs, but until then, I'm actually favoring shorts until Bitcoin ends up tagging below $90,000 for us to move on higher during this bull market. In the meantime, as Bitcoin continues to chop around, it's also an amazing period to be adding to your spot bags before crypto moves higher. This is the beauty with crypto trading. You can predict that the price either goes up or down while still holding a very strong spot bag with a thesis that the Bitcoin bull market will continue into 2025. I think that we will peak towards the end of 2025 based on historical data, and I will make sure to update you on this channel when I am taking most of my profits. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. I wish you a very happy 2025 and a very prosperous trading year in crypto. Till next time.